Story time with Fergie and friends.
Anthony, can you read this book? It's about a bear.
Can you read this book? Oh, it's about a bear. I could read it. You've got your glasses on. You haven't got yours on though, have you? No.
Hello, Fergie and friends. This is Anthony, the travelling bear.
Hello, my name is Anthony. Hi. Hi. Hi.
No, Anthony, we're going to read a story. Okay. Right, now I'm going to put my reading glasses on, Anthony. You sit there. I'll put mine on. And then off we go. Ready? Okay. What's wrong, Arty? Thank you so much, Linda Beckett, for this lovely book. Scratch, scratch, scratch. A large hairy paw shot up into the air. One giant claw appeared, and with it, Arty scratched his head. This is a story about Arthur, a large brown bear, Anthony's close brother, with cute little ears, a jet black nose, and an enormous bottom. I say that's a bit rude. He was known to his friends as Arty. Arty sat down on a tree trunk. His shoulders sagged and his head was bowed low. All was not well in Bouncy Wood today. A bluebottle settled on his nose, and he swiped it away with a lolloping paw. He could be heard growling and muttering to himself. How do you think Arty is feeling today? Suki Squirrel was scurrying backwards and forwards, gathering her nuts, almost too busy to notice her friend Arty sitting on the tree trunk nearby. She had a big red bow on the top of her head. Swish, swish, swish went her lovely big bushy tail as she approached. She jumped up onto the tree trunk next to him. "What's wrong, Arty?" she said. Arty just shook his head. "Thank you, Suki, but I don't want to talk about it," he said. "Okay," said Suki Squirrel, and went on her way, swish, swish, swish. Later that day, while Suki was gathering some berries, she heard the sound of scratching, and little mounds of earth started to form in front of her. Suki stared at the ground in amazement. From a tiny hole in the ground, up popped a cheeky-faced grey rabbit with big floppy ears and a white bobtail. It was her friend Robbo Rabbit, and he had been busy making his new burrow twitch, twitch, twitch. His whiskers were very long, and they twitched almost as fast as a propeller on an aeroplane. "Hello, Suki," he said. "I'm worried about Arty," said Suki. "He does not feel like talking today. What do you think we should do?" Robbo Rabbit's whiskers were still twitching at a fast rate. Thump, thump, thump. He'd thumped his large rabbit foot onto the ground several times. He was thinking about what he could do. He decided it would be a good idea to visit Arty himself to see if he could help. Good idea. Robbo found Arty still sitting on his tree trunk. "What's wrong, Arty?" said Robbo. Once again, Arty just shook his head and did not want to talk. Robbo hopped off to find Suki. Suki Squirrel and Robbo Rabbit went to visit their friend Ozzy the Owl. Ozzy was sitting on his favourite branch, having a nap, but he always had one eye open. "We are worried about Arty. Will you speak with him?" said Robbo and Suki. "Yes, of course I will," said Ozzy. He was a wise old owl who always knew what to do. Whoosh! Ozzy swooped down onto the tree above where Arty was sitting. He found Arty slumped on his tree trunk looking miserable. "What's wrong, Arty?" he said. Arty just shook his head. Ozzy hopped down from the tree, spread out a big wing and wrapped it around Arty's shoulder. "If you tell me what the problem is, then I may be able to help you," said Ozzy. Arty just shook his head again. "Oh, please tell me," said Ozzy, "as I want to help." "You know," Ozzy said, "there is a wise old saying, 2 heads are better than 1. Let me see if I can help you." "Okay," said Arty. He paused for a moment to think. "I can't find a present for Bertie Badger, and it's his birthday tomorrow," he said. "Oh, don't worry," said Ozzy. "If you like, we can all help you make him a special grubbed sandwich." "Oh, I think he would love that," said Arty with excitement. So, Ozzy, Suki, Robbo and Arty spent most of the day gathering a variety of worms, slugs, berries, nuts and some of Bertie's favourite grubs. They covered the grub sandwich with leaves and hid it safely under a tree, ready for Bertie's birthday the next day. Oh, how exciting. Arty awoke from a deep sleep and then gave a big yawn. It was Bertie's birthday today and he was going to see all his friends. He was glad he had told Ozzy what was wrong, as he was feeling much better now. That evening they'd all gathered at Bertie's home. They knew he was about to appear as he slept by day and came out at night. Sniff, sniff, Bertie could smell something tasty. He sniffed the air with his nose in excitement. First his nose appeared out of the ground, followed by the rest of his body, and he crawled out of his home. He was very surprised but very pleased to see everyone. All his friends were there, including Slithery Sid, the Lizard, Freddy Fox, Monty Mole, Sammy Stout, and of course Arty. Arty was happy now. He was glad he had told Ozzy what was wrong. 2 heads were better than 1. In future, when he had a problem, he would always talk to someone. Bertie Badger enjoyed his grub sandwich, as did all his friends. Bouncy Wood was back to its normal bouncy self again. They all held up their cups made out of giant acorns in celebration to make a toast for Bertie's birthday. A delicious feast was had by all. Cheers, everyone, said Arty. Happy birthday. There it is. It's good to talk, isn't it? Bye, everybody.
Bye, bye. Good story, Fergie.
With Fergie and friends, with Fergie and friends.